morning, folks. Welcome to Just Omer. My name is Omer Ahern Jr., and this is my periodic Grafton County report to the people of Grafton County in New Hampshire. And I am one of three county commissioners. I serve District 3. Actually, I serve everybody in the county, but I'm elected from District 3, which includes all the towns from Warren and Campton and over to Canaan, and including up to Grafton and Dorchester, and then down to Alexandria, Bristol, then over to Ashland and Holderness, Plymouth and Hebron, of course, and all the little towns in between. I serve with two other county commissioners. The chairperson of the Board of Commissioners is Wendy Piper, and she is from District 1, which is the towns of Hanover, Lebanon, and Enfield. And then we also serve with Commissioner Linda Lauer from Bath, New Hampshire, and she serves the towns in District 2. Well, again, we all serve the whole county when we're working as county commissioners. And Commissioner Lauer serves or is from the towns in the northern and western part of Grafton County. And by state statute, the county commissioners in New Hampshire are responsible for the operation and maintenance and providing the services at the nursing home. And we have a 130-bed nursing home up in North Haverhill, New Hampshire. Right now, our census there is down quite a bit, which creates some revenue problems for the county. And I'll be talking about that because we have one of the reports at our meeting this past Tuesday was from the nursing home administrator. We also are responsible for the operation and maintenance of the Department of Corrections, which is the Department of Corrections facility, which was built and got started. The new building was around 2011, and that provides pretrial confinement for those who have been charged with a criminal offense and have not been able to post bail. And then there's also the House of Correction there, as well as the county jail. House of Correction is for folks that have been found guilty and have been sentenced to incarceration for less than a year and a day. And we have a 150-bed facility up there at the Department of Corrections. And we're also tasked with running a farming operation. The original purpose of the farm back in the 1870s and has continued up into the today for Grafton County, but for most of the other counties into the 1970s and 1980s. We have a dairy farm and we have vegetable fields, and we have pigs and we have chickens, and we grow a lot of potatoes and we grow a lot of winter squash. This year on the farm we did not grow the vegetables because we did not have enough labor from the Department of Corrections. There just weren't enough inmates in the House of Correction that could work on the farm, that were classified to be able to be outside to work on the farm. So again, the farm is there originally was to feed the residents and the inmates at the Department of Corrections and the residents and the staff at the nursing home. But we continue to have all three of those operations in Grafton County up in North Haverhill. And I'll tell you this, folks, and I've been involved with county government essentially my entire life, having grown up at the Sullivan County home in Unity, New Hampshire. We are very blessed to have in Grafton County the employees that serve there, that work for you and provide the nursing care and housekeeping care and maintenance, and the corrections staff, the corrections officers at the Department of Corrections. we are very blessed to have these folks, especially in this last 18, 20-month period with the COVID. They worked under some very stressful situations and yet continue to serve our county and our citizens here in the county, our residents, by their very diligent work under, again, some very stringent, in some cases, not the safest conditions, but they served well, and I'm very proud of them, and I want to thank them right now again for their selfless service to the folks here in Grafton County. Our meeting this week was on Tuesday, the 7th of September. Of course, we always start out with the Pledge of Allegiance to our nation's flag. The first person on the agenda was the Superintendent of the Department of Corrections, Tom Elliott, a Marine. He's not actively serving. I guess they don't call Marines retired when they kind of get done, but he's a Marine. And Superintendent Elliott came in and gave his report for what he needed that morning. Basically, because of COVID, among other things, the county operations are having a challenging time keeping employees. And when I go over the Human Resource Director report as part of my report this morning, I'll explain to you why Superintendent Elliott came in and requested of the commissioners to establish a new policy to implement a referral bonus program at the Department of Corrections. And that is any employee, any corrections officer who refers a new corrections officer employee to the Grafton County Department of Corrections for employment will receive a referral bonus, half of that bonus at the time that the new employee is hired, and 6 months later, if that new employee is still employed as a corrections officer, then there'll be the other half of that bonus. And any new hire as a corrections officer would also be receiving the same bonus. It's a $1,000 bonus, half paid when they start their employment, and if they're still there after 6 months, they would get the other half of that bonus. So, facing the reality of what we've got and the need to have more corrections officers on staff, and again, based upon what we've been seeing, at least since I came back on board the 6th of January, we felt we had no choice. And the money is in the budget because we've had a lot of vacant positions, so we feel if there is any bonus money to be paid out, that it is within the budget. So we're not creating any new expenses in our budget. So we approved that, and hopefully that will help to ease the employee issues at the Department of Corrections. The next department head that came in to report was Karen Clough, who is the Human Resource Director at the county. And this is her report. She came in and talked with us. We had new hires, but when I tell you what the new hires are, I think you need to kind of hold off until you hear what the separations are. So we had 9 new hires in the nursing home, 3 part-time, 2 full-time, and 4 per diem. 2 of the part-time positions were housekeepers, 1 part-time dietary aide in the kitchen. There was 1 per diem RN, 3 per diem licensed nursing assistants, 1 full-time licensed nursing assistant, and 1 full-time unit aide. And in the Sheriff's Department, there was a new hire, a full-time deputy. We did have a retirement earlier in August, and we're having a hard time finding deputies to work at the Sheriff's Department as well, because it's not an easy, it's not easy work when you're working for the county. However, separations. We had 11 separations at the nursing home. We had LNAs who got done. We had a full-time staff development director get done. We had some RNs get done. We had 5 part-time dietary aides get done. We had 2 full-time dietary aides. In the Registry of Deeds, we had a records clerk who left. In the Sheriff's Department, we had 2 full-time positions, a part-time bailiff and a part-time deputy. At the DOC, Department of Corrections, we had 3 full-time corrections officers separate. And then at the county attorney's office, we had 1 assistant county attorney who resigned. So there are a number of reasons why these folks get done. Terminated, care changes, no dissatisfactions this time, but new jobs, relocated school, retirement, and things like that. So we are now actively looking for nursing home nursing folks. We need 16 nursing folks at the nursing home. We need 6 non-nursing staff at the nursing home, whether that's housekeeping or in the dietary department. At the Department of Corrections, we're looking for 7 new employees, mostly corrections officers. In the maintenance department, we're looking for 2 intermittent folks. We're looking for 3 folks for the dispatch department at the department, looking for 1 assistant county attorney, and in the commissioner's office, we're looking for an employee, but I think we've got that position hired. So we have a lot of these jobs are advertised, and if go to the Grafton County website and go to the Human Resource page, and you'll see all of these positions posted. And also, we're advertising in all the local newspapers looking for people to fill these positions. So that was the report from our County Human Resource Director. The next person that came in was our nursing home administrator, Craig Labor. And he has a very challenging job these days with the COVID and the vaccines and so on and so forth. His report is, of great importance to the county commissioners. So our present census is we have 105 residents in the nursing home. We have 2 Medicare residents. We have 79 Medicaid residents, 2 VA residents, and we have 22 private care residents. And the private pay, not private care, but private pay, they pay a pretty significant amount of money to be at the Grafton County Nursing Home. We had quite a discussion about the Center for Medicaid, Medicare Services and their proposed or potential mandatory vaccination coming down the pike. And we talked about what's the effect of mandatory vaccination going to have on our nursing home admissions. It was kind of a tough discussion to have. We don't know what's happening. We're waiting for the policy to come down from the federal government and what the state of New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services is going to do. And so we had to make the tough decision and this was at the request of the nursing home administrator, is to, at this point, put on hold any new admissions to the nursing home. There is one person who is in the wings waiting to come in, so that person will be the one exception. And this person has been waiting, or has been trying to get in for the last month and a half or so. But because of the federal and state rules and regulations, this person has not quite met all the criteria to be admitted to the Grafton County Nursing Home. So, in order to keep our heads above water, again, looking into the future, and that's part of what the commissioner's job is to look and see what might happen and try to run our facility, the nursing home, the House of Correction and Jail, and the farm operation, so that we can continue to provide these services for those that are there. These are the things that we're concerned about and we're working on. But again, I have nothing but the highest praise for our different department heads and administrators there. Craig Labor and his staff do a fantastic job. Grafton County Nursing Home has not had a single COVID case since April of 2020 in the nursing home. None of our residents have had any COVID cases since April of 2020. Yes, we did have one in early April of 2020 that did result in one of our residents at that time passing away. But since that time, it's been 100% free of any COVID issues. Now, that doesn't mean that our staff people at the House of Correction and in the nursing home, because they go home, they go out into the community. So some of our staff people have tested positive for COVID, and we take the necessary steps in order to quarantine and whatever needs to be done. And again, nothing but the highest praise for Craig Labor and Tom Elliott for their work in making sure that our residents up there are kept safe. The other thing that we needed to do for the nursing home was we needed to, the commissioners were asked to approve the purchase of some dining room tables for the residents that we've been waiting on for 2 years. And because of the COVID situation and the supply line difficulties, we were not able to get these dining room tables a year ago, which was what our plan was. So we again approved the purchase of these dining room tables and chairs. And fortunately, by waiting a year, we're actually going to be paying about $2,000 or so less for the tables than what had been proposed a year and a half ago. So the commissioners then went on to approve a letter of support for the Grafton County Conservation District with regard to getting a grant in order to make some improvements up on the, I believe it's the Baker River up in Campton, to make the habitat there for the fish in the stream, make that habitat for them better. And it's good for nature, but even though they're going to be taking out 2 crossings, there will be a new bridge to replace those 2 crossings there. But the new bridge is going to be such that it will make sure that the water environment for the fish and other animals, you know, the moose and the deer and all the other little critters, are going to be still able to have, you know, 100% access to the water. And this money would be coming from the Conservation Moose Plate grant program through the state Conservation Committee. And so we approved that request for the grant. And if you want more information on that, you can go to the Grafton County Conservation District website, and you can find a lot of that information there. We provided another step forward for the new Mid-State Daycare program that's going out on Tenny Mountain Highway here in Plymouth. And it was a professional services agreement in order for them, for the Mid-State Daycare folks to get their ducks in a row to get that program up and running for our young people. Then we had a non-public session addressing some issues that I can't talk about in a meeting like this. The county administrator, Andrew Dorsett, is going forward working with the various department heads on working to implement the Farm Doc program. He's meeting with the farm manager, Grant Nelson. And again, I have nothing but the highest praises for Mr. Nelson and his farm crew. He's working shorthanded because we don't have the inmates in the Department of Corrections to come out and help with milking the cows. We have to milk our cows 2 times a day, 7 days a week. And the first milking is somewhere around 3 o'clock in the morning, and the second milking is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I really appreciate the good work that Grant Nelson and Ben White provide. Ben is the herdsman there, and we've had some issues with trying to keep farm help there because we're short-handed, and our farm people are working, overtime, a lot of overtime, partly because we don't have the inmate labor to help out. And Andrew Dorsett, our county administrator, is also talking with the chefs in the nursing home and in the Department of Corrections as we try to find out from them what items they can amend their menu that are going to be grown on the county farm properties. So we're working on that. Again, government, the wheels of government sometimes grind so excruciatingly slow that it can be very frustrating. Those of you that are in, have your own businesses, you can make a decision like that and you can implement it because you're the only one who's in charge, or you and your spouse. So, but we don't have that luxury in county government. So we've got to make sure that we're doing the things according to all of the Byzantine rules and regulations that we have to work under. And some of those rules and regulations do make it hard for us to do our job be in the best interest of all concerned. And a lot of those rules and regulations are some of the reasons why county government is so expensive. But the county commissioners, as I've said before, and I just want to keep reiterating that, we worked very hard on the county budget, and in working with the county delegation, those of you that are property owners in Grafton County, you're going to find when you look at your real estate tax bill come the fall, you're going to find that there was no increase in your county taxes this time around. And we're going to continue to work at that. And again, that no increase in taxes was in spite of the fact that we had a $1,200,000 loss in revenue from the nursing home. And then the state of New Hampshire sent a $500,000 bill out of the blue to Grafton County as Grafton County's share of the state retirement administration because their investments at the state retirement group did not work out as was planned. So taxpayers, you had to, here in Grafton County, you had to collectively pick up a $500,000 share of something that did not work quite right at the state level. One of the other things that I wanted to mention to you, and I brought up at the commissioner meeting, was a couple of weeks ago, I was going to check my mail over in Wentworth, and there was a gentleman who was unpacking or packing some things in the back of his pickup truck in front of the or beside the post office. And I went over and introduced myself, and come to find out, this fellow is an ex-Marine. Excuse me, they're not ex-Marines. They're Marines still, but they're no longer actively serving and things like that. But he's also a impaired, and he has a prosthetic leg. And yet this Marine, and he is from Massachusetts, and there was an article about him in the Journal Opinion at the end of September, excuse me, at the end of August, and it's about his, the title of that article is Undaunted, Ex-Marine Keeps Swimming. And so this Michael Welch from Massachusetts had just come from swimming in the Connecticut River, and he kind of had gone by the Grafton County farm fields, because Grafton County complex and their farm fields are right on the banks of the Connecticut River up there in northwestern Grafton County. So Mr. Welch and I had quite a discussion, and he has an artificial leg, and yet he's out there swimming. So it's very very humbling to meet this man who, in spite of his limitations, but Marines don't have limitations. All the Marines that I know of, they don't have limitations, and so we're very proud to have them. So anyway, if you get a chance, take a look at the Journal Opinion. Again, the article title is Undaunted, Ex-Marine Keeps Swimming. So I want to, kind of at the end of my time, but I want to thank the folks here at the PBTV for hosting me, giving me this opportunity to share with you folks what Grafton County government is about, some of the challenges that we have. But again, I have nothing but the highest praise for our department heads, our administrators up there at Grafton County, the employees, really selfless, dedicated employees. And many of the nursing staff, they could go any other number of places to work, and yet they continue, for the most part, to be dedicated to the work that they do at Grafton County. I also want to thank my two co-workers on the Board of Commissioners, Commissioner Wendy Piper, again the chairperson from Enfield, and Commissioner Linda Lauer from Bath, and she's the vice chairman. I happen to be the clerk, and as the clerk, I get to sign off on every invoice that is paid by Grafton County each week. So I want to thank you for listening in. I hope it's not all too boring for you, but it's just a lot of dynamics. So at this point, I want to say again, thank you to PBTV, and I end with God bless America, and God bless the Granite State of New Hampshire. Live free or die. There are things worse than death. That's a quote from Revolutionary War General, and I've run out of time. Thank you. Take care.